Hello folks, this is Pierre-André Mathieu, and today I'm here with another tutorial, and this tutorial we're going to be adding a widget that counts how many number of hits that the player inflicts on an enemy, mini boss, or a boss character. If Alright, let's demonstrate, shall we? Yeah. See here? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about out in the beginning. If you must know, I got this widget from a guy named Feng from the GitHub hub. He has this very cool user interface for Unreal Engine 4. The link is in the description below, so be sure to check it out and pick this up for you to work on your project in a more nice and efficient manner. That being said, let's get started. Now, as you can see, I open up this project here, and what I need to do to get the hit counter is select number 7, because that folder contains the hit counter. After that, you click migrate, and what we don't need here is the example content. What we need to migrate is the action tutorial folder, or whatever you call it, and select content inside this folder, because it makes sense that we migrate things into our content folder. That way we can add stuff within our project. So once we've done that, we have to select folder and let the whole thing do the rest. Now that we have that, and what I've done here is I add folder number 7 in widgets within third person folder. And what I'm gonna do is open it up and see how I did it. Now, if you notice, it originally had a background and a button that says keep pressing me, but I removed it because I don't see the point in needing such things. Then when I go to graph, as you can see here, it originally had a bad cast node, but I got rid of that as well because, like I said, don't need it. Now before we do any of that, we go to third person, blueprints, spectacle fighter, and HUD, and click on the player HUD, like so. If you watched my previous tutorial involving the player HUD, which contains health, magic, and rage mirror and all that stuff, this is what we have here. Now, what I needed to do first is get something from the return value and then promote it to a variable. Then rename this variable to player screen. And once I've done that, I had to get the node from the player screen and connect it to, simply put, replace the existing input connection to the player screen. And once we've done that, we compile and save. And why is that? Well, because as you can see, I add the WD hit counter onto the canvas and place it on that side. And as you can see, I place this anchor right here. The positions of X and Y are 0, so I only need to use the alignment right here. I suggest you stop the video and type what you need in order to get this alignment onto your widget. Make sure that this hit counter is checked as a variable because you're going to need that. We also need to compile and save here. And our player character, what we need is event hit detected. Let's type that. And click it so it's displayed here. Two variables we need to add are counter and high score, which are both integers. What counter does is it counts the amount of hits that we inflicted onto enemies. High score is what determines how much points we have in beating up bad guys. So if I bring this variable out, we need to get counter, like so. Then from the counter, we need an add operator. And once we have add operator, we need to set at our counter right here. Once we're done, we have to type from 0 to 1 on this pin, so that way we can count how many hits we have onto the enemy one by one. The next thing we need is get game mode. Get game mode blueprint. right here. And from the game mode, we need a HUD. And from the HUD, we need player screen. After we get our player screen, we need WD hit counter. And from it, we need to get go counter function, which is what we have here. Now, if we place this input connection to the go counter, this whole thing would surely fire up. After we got this whole thing, what we need is a retriggerable delay. This one right here. And once we have that, we need to set the duration to 2.0. After that, we're going to be using a branch here in which you can either right click and type in branch, or hold the B key and left click the mouse to bring out this one right here. From its condition, what we need is greater than. Now we need the counter to be greater than the high score here. If this is true, then we need to set our high score in order to get our counter. Then and only then will we reduce the hit count to 0. If it's false, then the counter should remain 0. Let's highlight that. Oh, and one last thing before I end the tutorial there. Just in case we need to bring the hit result, hit actor, and that actor should be the character blueprint. Let's bring out a team. The team should be equal to 0, which is the player character. If it's true, then the player should be firing all these things up. If it's false, then nothing happens. Let's compile and save. And let's test this bad boy out, shall we? on second thought, I don't think we need that. My mistake. Actually, let's see something. Ah, it makes sense. It all makes sense now. So it only So the hit counter thing only works with the enemy, not the player. My mistake. Okay, let me flip the script a little. If the team is number 1, which is the enemy, then this whole thing in which I've built here fires up. However, if it's not the enemy, then it does nothing. Nothing of the sort. Just to reinforce this point, I'm going to test it again. There we go. Now, you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And that will be all for this tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, then by all means, put them down in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for future tutorials such as this. And as always, remember, what you take and learn from me is yours to do with as you see fit. Peace out and have a good day.